How's it going, love? Better than last week, thanks. Glad to hear it. Any revelations? A bit. Through sober daydreams, I wound up accidentally exploring my concept of heaven. Is the sober part significant? Well, it is to me. People tend to take sober experiences and ideas far more seriously than influenced ones. In vino veritas may be all well and good, but saying the idea came to you when you were drunk or stoned is kind of frowned upon. Would you frown upon it? Maybe a little. I'd give more strength to a sober idea. But you've explored several ideas and experiences that weren't sober. I know, but I was actually sober for a week, so I feel it's significant. Is that rare? Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep working on it. I think sobriety is good for me. And I feel really encouraged that I can have ideas and insights while not high. I was getting worried that it was all addled imagining and willing self-delusion while high that was giving me the feelings and understandings that were making me feel better. But now I'm figuring out that's not the case. I'm pretty relieved and happy with that. Glad to hear it. So what did you discover? Well, through a series by the new artist, I wound up picturing my idea of a perfect world that I could journey to and be happy. I got the base idea from a fantasy painting I saw several years ago, but I kept adding to it. What I think is making it a heaven is an undercurrent of understanding and compassion that's running through everything. Can you explain that? There's a connection and understanding to all the other people around you. With and through that, you can experience all the life experiences you want to, from the pleasant to the excruciating, without it hurting as much as in this existence. It's like the ultimate existential kink. You can choose what events you want to experience, feel them, and all aspects of them fully if you wish, or use your connections and understanding of yourself to prevent or change them. It's an experience entirely a la carte. No matter what you choose, you come through balanced, at peace, and with compassion and understanding. Interesting. What separates that from this life you're living? I think there's... I guess the sense of compassion and understanding is constant in that heaven I was creating. Here it tends to waver. And in the heaven I was creating, everyone has that connection. In those daydreams, I was in my own heaven. So I had final say on how it looked, how people wanted to behave, how the buildings were, and so on. So nothing too horrible, nothing that I wasn't okay with facing would happen. Also, recognize that this was my heaven. Like being my own solitary thread in a giant, multi-dimensional tapestry. I connect and touch other threads. I'm part of the vast whole, and it's my thread. I decide the color, thickness, smoothness, where it goes, the pattern, and it can't be changed, damaged, or altered without my cooperation by the other threads. Whereas here you feel more influenced and controlled by others? Yes. And I can't tell if the things I encounter here are ones I chose before life began, summoned unconsciously, or are just part of the collective shadow shitting on people who didn't ask for it. It feels far more out of my control. Well, the events might be. Your responses are entirely in your control. And I'm still working on recognizing exactly how much control I really do have. I'm throwing off a lot of conditioning and doing my best to realize how powerful I really am in my life without turning every minor challenge into a full-blown battle. Can you elaborate? I'm working on moving through the toddler-teenager mentality, where you're realizing that you have power, that people feel they have power over you, and you're fighting to resist everything and be difficult because they aren't the boss of you, regardless of how minuscule the matter of contention is. Instead of gearing up for conflict over not liking a food at dinner, the idea of bedtime, you're recognizing what battles are worth fighting and you're moving through. Then you're moving even farther through the teenage stuff, through feeling like you should be allowed to play video games all night, or look as unique as you like. Now you're choosing to brace for the battles that protect your inherent rights as a person, your health and well-being, and recognizing which of those things, like maybe how you look, isn't actually a fight. And you're also ready to protect the rights, health, and well-being of others. So I'm working on not taking minor inconveniences as a sign life hates me, trying not to take minor slights from others so personally, that someone's behavior to me isn't due to my worth or worthlessness, but them, and control my responses to align with compassion. Also, it's been helpful to realize that while my actions and words do have an effect and consequential actions, a single mistake or imperfection won't cause the world to collapse. Like, if I don't always buy fair trade and sustainable, but choose to when I can, the earth will keep spinning. And it'll keep getting better, hopefully. Interesting. So with a greater recognition of what control you do and don't have, can you think of any ways to bring that heaven you picture into this life? Well, the not taking things personally really helps bring more peace into my life, rather than fuming about things. I still get angry and upset, but it's better and I can just be with it. I'm also working to find more enjoyment in what is, rather than worrying about what I must be doing wrong to not have everything I want right now. Like the perfect career and compassionate relationships. I'm working on enjoying what I enjoy, not taking the absence of these things personally, not sweating the little annoyances, and enjoying when I do dislike them. Is that good? I'm guessing? I mean, people love complaining about work or other people. I'm choosing to just savor the feelings themselves rather than blame others for me having them. Sounds closer and closer to heaven. Yeah, getting there. Was there anything else you noticed? Yep. I kept thinking that my personal vision of heaven would just be me alone somewhere perfect. But then I realized my favorite daydreams all have people in them, characters I love. And the heaven I was picturing had a whole world of people in it, maybe multiple worlds even. So I feel like that's encouraging. I'd say so. Not quite as antisocial as you like to think. Yeah, I guess I'm a pack animal after all. Any further thoughts? I guess I'm glad that heaven doesn't feel as far away from reality as I first thought. And that maybe the difference between the heaven and the hell I was picturing are even smaller than ever. They're both about understanding, compassion, and surrendering control. Because you already have it over yourself. It's an interesting idea. Does it tie into the chanting story? Whoops, not directly, but sort of. We'll have to get to that one next time. We'd better.